I'm out in my zone 9B garden, and to the untrained eye, it looks very beautiful. But we had a storm a few days ago from Tropical Storm Crystal, and so I have a little bit of cleanup to do, and I haven't really been able to get out here into the garden to do some things. So I just wanted to do a few things today. So one thing that I need to do is I want to transplant this little basil plant. It has some roots, as you can see. Let me pull it out. See the roots there. And I'm going to put that into one of my tomato plants, and then I can kind of get that tomato plant all geared up. So let's get to work. One of the first things that I need to do is to help my poor little tomato plants out. You can see I have a limb down on the ground, and it is actually broken completely off, and so I need to remove that. And then I need to pick some leaves and tie some stuff up on the tomato plants really bad. I need to move some things out, but the bees are very active in here right now, so I kind of don't want to do too much, or I want to stay out of the way of the bees for sure. So this is how I normally roll in the garden. I do have a plan, so to speak. I keep a garden journal, and in that garden journal, I always put in kind of a to-do list. And I also keep a calendar so I know when I've done things. So today I'm just doing a few things off my to-do list, which, clearing up that tomato limb was not on the list, but taking this shade cloth off was, because these cucumbers are growing super fast, and by the time I'm editing this video, I've already done the garden tour, but it's not up yet. But y'all, wait till you see the growth on these cucumber plants. It is amazing. So I got rid of that limb that was hanging off of the tomato plant, and then I took the shade cloth off. And so now what I'm doing is just helping the cucumber plant do a spot of training. I wanted to show you all something if the bee doesn't get me, because there's a bee that's terrorizing me right now. And these are marigolds, and I had them in with my sweet banana pepper plant. And this is the banana pepper plant down here, and there's two of them there. Oops, there's two there. And I was thinking that one was dead, but it's getting some leaves on it, and it's just getting overshadowed. Y'all look at the marigold plant. And y'all see the roots are coming out because it's been raining like crazy. I did not know marigolds did that. Look how huge that plant is. It's two of them in there, and I'm going to leave them. I haven't had any blooms yet, but I just need to do some research and figure out why they are not blooming. So I did cut a few of the cucumbers leaves off that were kind of badly damaged, and you can see the leaves are very wilty, and that's because this plant is just sitting in water right now. And so I tried to pour some of the water off, so I don't know if it's going to do any good, hopefully, but unfortunately there's more rain coming. Now this one is draining okay. As you can see, the leaves are looking very nice. Let's go over here on this side. Look at that. It's looking good. I was hoping to at least get a few cucumbers off before the weather took over. I also took off the shade cloth that was at the top of here. So, and I have one, and I tied up my tomato plants because, y'all, they were growing outside of the cage. They were out of control. So I tied them up, and of course I did lose a big branch. Y'all, let me show you what I did. I just stuck it in the ground because it has all these green tomatoes on it. I doubt if it survives, but I was like, what the heck? It can't hurt nothing. Let's just do a little bit of an experiment. I'm still swatting mosquitoes, but not as bad now, and I'll tell you why on another video. And so now I have to deal with this guy. This is my sunflower plant that had multiple heads, and I'm going to go ahead and take the heads off of these, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it just yet. No, I'm not cooking anything or barbecuing out here. I am taking some Reynolds Wrap, and or aluminum foil, doesn't have to be Reynolds Wrap, and I'm putting it around the base of some of my plants to do a bit of preventative action here and keep bugs from boring into my plants. So, I keep hearing about these infamous vine borers, and so I wanted to try to get ahead of the game when it came to the vine borers. So I'm just wrapping my watermelon, my zucchini, and I also did my squash, my yellow squash, the same way. And so I'm hoping that this will help me to stave off some of those plants, y'all. I baby my plants way too much. It's ridiculous. So now what I'm doing is I am planting that basil plant that I showed you earlier, and this is where I want it to live. I'm also trimming off some of the bottom leaves of this tomato plant. Y'all, the tomato plants that I have in this particular arch are cuttings from my other husky cherry tomato plants, and they are doing really, really well. And it's a good thing that I have those because, as you saw, the other ones, the other cherry tomato plants are not looking so good. So hopefully we'll start getting some fruit off of these within the next few months as well. So I guess that's the good thing about succession planting. Now I'm also just putting a tomato cage on here that I made out of some cattle panel, and this one is ready to go. I just need to stake this just a tidbit better, but it's definitely ready to roll. Now I am putting together some diatomaceous earth, and I want to use those on the base of my plants as well. And y'all, I made a big old mess with this. Big mess, and I didn't want to waste a drop of it. But I had to do quite a bit of cleaning up. I'm here in my garage, and I'm using this old bottle, but I think it's going to work out. I think it's going to be okay. So I'm just going to take my diatomaceous earth, and I'm going to put it only at the base of my plants. And once I'm not putting it on anything that's flowering, and right now there's no flowers on these, and plus it's supposed to rain anyway in the next few days, so I'm not that worried about it. So like I said, I'm just doing a spot of preventative action here on my kind of viney type of plants. I've been out here for about an hour. Here in my 9B zone garden, and I did get to do a few things because, y'all, this is the Lazy Liz channel, and me and Bobby, we're all about doing things in a lazy way. We don't want to be out in the garden for 15 hours. However, there's still some things that need to be done that I'm just gonna give it up right now because I am kind of hot and tired. So y'all don't know what's gonna happen with this tomato plant. What y'all think? I would love to know what you think in the comments. Do you think I'm gonna get any more tomatoes off of here? Do you think this disease and ravaged tomato plant is going to survive? I don't know. We'll see. Also, the marigolds, y'all, they're just, that water is, I mean, that is so wet in there. I don't know if it's going to make it or not. I don't know. And also the cucumber plant is just sitting in water, and you can see the leaves are drooping. And I don't think it's too hot for them. It is in the 90s right now, but as you can see, the other side is actually not droopy like this is. I did take the sunflowers out, and I deadheaded those, and I took the heads in the house. There's still some more that could be done, but I think these particular sunflowers are probably about done. I also tied up and staked a little bit better my tomatoes, and I also saw some tomatoes that could probably take off the vine, so I may do that if I can fight with the bees, because y'all, the bees have been running me out of this trellis, for real though. But look how beautiful it is. Look at the beautiful cucumbers, so nice. And this big old marigold is hiding my itty bitty banana plant. Hey itty bitty, hey. So hopefully it'll be happier in this position. I also did a bit of preventative action here, and let's get it a little bit closer if we may. And what I did here, this is my squash plant, my yellow squash plant. I put some aluminum foil around the base and also some diatomaceous earth, which will probably get washed away because I think it's going to rain today. And it shouldn't mess with the pollinators just yet because there's no blooms on there right now, so we should be okay. I also went ahead and I put the cage around the tomato. It still needs some better staking, but it's on. I also planted basil inside of there as well. I don't know if you can see it, it's kind of behind there. It's a little bitty basil plant. There you are, little basil baby. There you are. And now look, we got a guardian. Kind of cool. I'm gonna have to look up and see what the little red thing, what that means, if they're mating or whatnot. So I have this spot on here, and I think that might be whiteflies and not the leaf miners, but if it ever stops raining, the whole garden will get treated again. And I also did the aluminum foil and diatomaceous earth on these because this is the watermelon and also the zucchini. So we'll see what happens with those as well. So this is just a few of the things that you have to do when you have a new garden. I know that. And this is my first year and I really want my garden to be successful. But it's a lot of work still. It's a lot of work, but I am truly enjoying it. I think part of the process that I'm really enjoying, I really enjoy the germination part, because you plant a seed and it's so nice when the seeds come up, and I'm kind of proud of myself that I could even get that far. And then the second piece of that puzzle is just like watching things grow. So by me and Bobby doing these videos, I can really see the growth in actual garden, because you know, when you're in it every day, it's like you're looking at it and it seems like there's nothing happening, and there is. So when I go back and I look at the video from the week before, I'm like, man, there was some serious growth. And now that it's raining like crazy, yes, I think the rain and storms are wreaking destruction and havoc, but at the same time, it's part of nature, and everything seems to be loving the rain for the most part. I mean, it's a plant. Plants like rain. It likes rainwater more than anything. So I think it's going to be okay. But I am going to go ahead and shove off because, y'all, I'm sweating like an old government mule after a carrot on a stick. And so I want to talk to you guys later. I almost forgot to show you. She got some new boots. I have some ideas for my old boots though. But I really needed some new boots because my old boots have been duct taped to death. And so I had to get some more. Got these for about 14 bucks and I'm really happy with them.